Most of what I've shared with you about healing endometriosis, period pain, or just the womb healing journey has been focused on diet, herbs, and some lifestyle changes. But today we're going to dig a little bit deeper and go into some ancestral practices. One of the things that's been really helpful for me in my journey, whenever I've hit like a wall or reached a plateau, has been to turn to ancestral practices, turn to practices that have been passed down through many generations, and practices that you don't really see in modern medicine, but have been really helpful for me. And I've also developed a process of asking my ancestors for guidance whenever I've hit these points in my journey where I'm just not getting anywhere anymore. And I found so many things that have been helpful. Today we're going to talk about one of them, one that has been really special and powerful in my healing journey. Before we get started, I want you to know that I am not a medical doctor. I am a medicine person. I'm a medicine woman with an herbal practice who has been working in this field and doing this work for 12 years now. So that's my perspective and where I'm coming from. If you're looking for medical advice, this is not where you will find it, but you will find my experiences and what I've learned over my years of this work. So my journey to this practice that I'm sharing with you today has been really powerful, and it really started with me seeking and looking for something that was going to help me with releasing the stuck energy in my womb space. And through that desire and through asking my ancestors for that clarity and guidance, I was led to womb massage, also known as Mayan massage, but I call it womb massage. And that led me to going to the Yucatan and spending some time there and learning how to do womb massage. But as part of that journey, I also got to experience something called Temazcal. And Temazcal is a beautiful practice that I am going to share with you today. And let's just actually start with my journey in my experience of Temazcal so you can have an idea what it's like. I went to the Yucatan and I was there, learning about womb massage. I was learning how to really dive into these practices that were integrating the physical body, emotions, and spirit, and really deep connection to nature and the earth as well. And as part of that journey, we went and did a Temazcal ceremony. And basically, Temazcal is like a sweat lodge. So I went to this beautiful place in Tulum on the beach. It was just so beautiful. And there was this big structure, like a round structure that almost looks like an igloo. And next to it was this big pile of volcanic rocks. And so you go into this igloo looking structure, and there are some palm leaves down on the ground, and you sit down with your back against the wall, and there is a big kind of structure or like a circular structure in the middle where there are rocks that go into it. And the medicine person who's leading the ceremony will open things and have some really nice words to open the ceremony, setting the intentions for the growth and the transformation that we could experience in the ceremony. And then starts bringing in these really hot rocks. So these rocks are like glowing red, they're so hot. And they go into the center of the Temazcal. And then there's a blend of water, almost like an herbal tea, water and herbs that is poured onto those hot rocks, and the door is closed for the Temazcal. So each time there's water going onto the hot rocks or there's new hot rocks added, it gets really, really steamy and really, really warm. And it's almost like you're going through these layers of depth and diving into this really powerful inward journey, because it is tough to be in this heat as it grows and it just gets hotter and hotter and you're sweating the whole time. So you definitely have to be hydrated going into it. But it was a beautiful ceremony and a beautiful experience. It is tough, and at the same time, it's so beautiful. So that was the ceremony. And as you get to the end, you start to notice that your mental clarity is opening up. I noticed that I was not really thinking so much, and I was able to really just tap into my body and be able to listen to my body and just sweat and release. which was really powerful for me. And then after the ceremony, you go outside and there's, at least in my experience, there was lots of fresh tropical fruit and lots of herbal waters to drink to rehydrate after so much sweating. It was really integrating the physical, spiritual, and emotional aspects that I really needed in order to progress in my healing. So one of the physical aspects that I loved was that sweating, that release of toxins, which was so important after having been on birth control for 7 years. And birth control is extremely toxic. It's not good for our bodies. Hormonal birth control is a endocrine disrupting drug and a toxin. And so I was on that for 7 years, and also just all the other things that we could be exposed to in our modern world. That stuff builds up in the body and creates problems and contributes to things like hormonal imbalance and menstrual pain. So having that deep sweat was really, really great. And also it was a powerful emotional release, and it was just such a beautiful spiritual experience in that as you release these physical toxins from your body, you're also having this emotional and spiritual release as well, because all of those things are intertwined. And after the Temazcal, I feel like I was definitely more quiet and inward, and I really did need that space to just be with myself and process what was released and be able to kind of integrate that experience. But overall, I absolutely loved it. It was so beautiful and such a big part of my healing journey. And it's a traditional practice that is kind of resembling being back in the womb. So if you think about that igloo kind of structure, that round structure where you're in this hot space, kind of like being in the womb, and you're sweating and releasing, and as you come out, it's kind of like you're being rebirthed into yourself. At least that's what it was like for me and for a lot of the other people who were in that ceremony with me. If you're enjoying this video, please do subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to grow. Thanks. Some of the benefits of Temazcal are that it helps to clear toxins from the body, helps to clear the skin, helps with circulation, and also helps with mental clarity and that emotional release. So if you don't have access to Temazcal or working with a medicine person who leads these kind of ceremonies, then there are some modern alternatives. One of those alternatives is going to be sauna, and that is a really amazing practice that has been used by so many cultures all over the world. And Temazcal is kind of like being in a sauna, and so you can do a sauna in order to have that Temazcal kind of experience, except you would want to create your own ceremony around it. So once you've found that sauna that you really like, then you can set an intention before you go in, and set an intention for what it is that you would like to release, and maybe even getting some clarity on how you would like to show up for yourself as you are kind of like reborn into this new version of yourself. And when you go, usually there's someone who will do an aufguss for you, and they may put some essential oil into that aufguss. And so you can ask for a particular herb that you may want to use for the aufguss and see if they have that available for you. Sage is one that is pretty common that you could use, or rosemary. Those would be a really great option for you to incorporate some of the plant medicine aspects into your steam sauna. Have that be more of a ceremonial experience. Sauna is a practice that has been used by so many cultures all over the world, and it's really a mind, body, and spirit practice that you can probably do some research into and find in your own lineage as well. And I encourage you to do that. That may give you some ideas about plants that you may want to incorporate into your own sauna and things like that. So definitely do your own research on this and find out, one, if it's right for you, and if you are dealing with any kind of health conditions, definitely talk to your health professional before incorporating something like this, because there are risks involved with either sauna or Temazcal, and you always want to make sure that you are taking that into consideration before doing any of these practices. So one of the other things that I wanted to share with you about sauna is a more slightly more modern practice of sauna, which is called ozone sauna. And ozone is basically highly concentrated oxygen. It's something that helps to stimulate the immune system. It helps the body to create its own antioxidants. It helps to fight infections and parasites. It can help to reduce inflammation, help to speed up wound healing, and also help to clear the skin and the body of toxins, especially when I'm talking about it in the sense of ozone sauna. So this is something that I recently got into and discovered, and I have found it to be so helpful and so beneficial on so many levels. So I wanted to share it with you because it is a really great modern alternative to something like Temazcal that you could possibly find in your area. So ozone sauna is basically where you're in this kind of like capsule structure and your whole body is inside up to your neck. Your head sticks out and there's a towel that goes around your neck so that there's no ozone that escapes while you're in the ozone sauna. And basically you get in, the person will put the towel around your neck and they'll start up the sauna, and it gets really, really hot, of course, and the pores of your skin open up. And then there's ozone that goes into that sauna, and the ozone goes into your body through the pores of your skin. And it is a really powerful sauna experience. I've had 2 surgeries. I found it to be really helpful for releasing toxins from the body, clearing the anesthesia from the body, and also just being able to get rid of the buildup of things that we accumulate in our bodies as part of being in the modern world. Because unfortunately, there's not really a way to escape it when we live in the modern world. We're just constantly inundated with all kinds of endocrine disruptors, whether it be in our water, in our food supply, or in the air. So it really does help to have these practices that we can turn to support our bodies in clearing. And for me, I do this about once a month, and I found it to be just like amazing. I notice definitely clear skin. I notice that I sleep a lot better and I don't have as many like nighttime disturbances while I'm sleeping. I also noticed that I used to have these bumps on the back of my legs, and ever since I started doing ozone sauna, that has completely gone and my skin is so smooth and soft. It's amazing. It's such a nice practice to turn to because it's pretty easy compared to regular sauna because your head is not in it. It's only your body. And you get that added benefit of ozone, which is just really powerful for things like promoting stem cells and also for regenerating tissue and just healing the body in general. So you can do your own research on ozone and you can see how it's been around for a while now. I think maybe 200 years or something like that. There are doctors all over the world that use ozone in their practices, and it's definitely something to do some research on and explore if you're curious about ozone sauna. So I definitely suggest just reading about it, learning about it, and of course talking to your healthcare professional before trying it, but it's definitely something that has been so helpful for me, and I wanted to share that with you as well. That's it for today. I hope you found this to be helpful. And if you do include sauna in your practice or in your womb healing, I would love to hear if it's been helpful for you and what you found the benefits to be beyond what I've shared with you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. That's it.